Hello, my ninjas. Today's guide will show you how to use the power and the last Gambit pills. The power pills read allows you to ready power pills. When taken, these medicinal pills temporarily enhance your attack strength. While the last Gambit pills read when taken, these pills increase your attack power but reduce your maximum health to 30% of its original value. Upon taking damage, your recovery limit will be further reduced. The jutsu cost for the power pills is at a 1.5, while the last gambit are at a 2.5, with the total amount preparable of the power pills being at a 5, and the total amount preparable for the last gambit at a 4. Since these both serve effectively the same purpose, I'm coupling them in a single video. The pill jutsus are the fastest casting animations, the speed of which can be increased with the ninjutsu's enlightenment mystic art, and are both self-buff jutsu. Both of these can be cast when the player is out of key. However, considering that they do not inherently affect enemies on cast, this is not a recommended way to use these. However, this can be reset to 30% if the player consumes another last gambit pill and elongating the status duration. However, this is ultimately a true commitment to the ninjutsu playstyle. Ninja sets are all light armor, meaning you don't have much in the way of damage prevention in the first place. Almost any and every hit will kill the player anyway, and quick change scrolls prevent death regardless of the damage taken. So realistically, this isn't as much of a trade-off for squishy ninjas anyway, especially when the player gets to the underworld and depths. Additionally, this jutsu pairs well with buffs that activate only when the player is at critical health, as Nioh 2 is a game that really goes off of the high risk, high reward when it comes to their effects. Meaning, those effects that trigger on critical health are typically of the highest value and benefit to the player. The critical status that the last Gambit Jutsu provides can also be paired very well with the Genmeko Guardian Spirit, which has the auto charge Amrita gauge when the player's health is at critical, which reads automatically charges your Amrita gauge when your health is dangerously low. This effect functions effectively the same as an infinite inspiriting gem when the player's health is at critical, which can be great as yokai shift makes the player immune to damage to their real health, meaning one can yokai shift if their assassination attempt fails, yokai shift, end the fight, end the yokai shift, and simply wait for their Amrita gauge to refill. I find these best used for assassination. As typically, I recommend not using the Sneak Thief scroll for combat. However, when stacking damage buffs on top of damage buffs and using certain weapons slow single powerful attacks, this can be used to absolutely one-shot enemies and not break the Sneak Thief. Here is a video of me going through and assassinating enemy after enemy for an entire stage. As you can see, I'm playing on Dream of the Nioh. While this can be useful to clear a map up to the boss, I would not recommend this for actual boss fights, but is not a completely unviable method, especially when considering the player will typically not be able to survive multiple hits from boss enemies anyway.